Hello paddlers, welcome back to my channel. Well, I've had an email and I couldn't read it to you. Right, well, I'll rephrase that, I wouldn't read it to you. Right, the F word and the F and M word, right, is mentioned about 20 bloody times. It's F this, you effing idiot, you F this. Some people are so crazy. Well, I'll come back to that in a second anyway. I've been asked, I enjoyed your paddle at Flamborough when you was out in the sea. Would you really go back again? Or is it a definite no-no like you said in the video? Well, to tell you the truth, I think I'm suffering from childbirth syndrome. You know how pregnant women, when they're giving birth, they're screaming and shouting, calling hell out of the husbands or the boyfriends, and vowing they would never ever have children ever again because they're in so much pain. And then a few months later, they want another kid, and the husband or the boyfriend goes, "What? You hated it? You want another one?" Well, yeah, I think I'm suffering from childbirth syndrome because I can remember how much Flamborough killed me, but I want to go back again. I do, and I'm thinking about it. I really am thinking about it. I'm talking myself into it almost. I've even already invested in a new kayak trolley because you didn't see in that particular video, but from where you get down the slope to get into the water, you have to go across the sand. And I've got a really good trolley, but it's not designed for sand. And that was a killer. The wheels were just stuck in the sand and I was dragging like mad, and that was a killer. And I've gone straight out straight away, not necessarily thinking Flamborough but for other places as well. And I bought myself a brand new kayak trolley. I'll put a picture up, right, because I've tested. It's huge. The wheels, looks like one of King Kong suppositories. The wheels are huge. I shouldn't have said it. Sorry, kids. Oh, kids won't understand that. No, the wheels are huge. In fact, they're so big, they will not fit inside my kayak. What I have to do is let the air out of them, then put them in the kayak, just before you get in the water, then put them in and then blow them up again. But I've got one of them handheld electric pumps, you know what I mean, where you can blow up your bike tyres, and they even blow up car tyres, right? So it's only a little thing, so that'd come with me. I've also got a handheld in case that battery did run out, just in case. Right, but the tyres are huge, as you can see. I'd have put a picture up by now, hopefully. But yeah, so ideal for running across the sand. They'll just roll the boat across the sand, no problem. Right, and they'd actually help with that slope at Flamborough. Because they're so big, you're lifting your boat a lot higher up off the ground, right? So you're not bent over when you're pulling it or pushing it or whatever, dragging it or pushing it. And I've even made up a mock harness so I can put the hand. And I'm thinking about using 2 trekking poles. Hey, before you stop laughing, I know you are, stop laughing. Right, but I've got some medical issues and I'm getting on a bit now. So trying to make life easier with this big trolley, a harness on, a couple of trekking poles, you get me? Might just make life a lot easier. I'll still have to stop 5 or 6 times. Right. Unless I'm lucky enough I time it right and Richard's coming. He'll be watching out. If he watches this video, he'll be watching out for me now at Flamborough. Oh, he's here. Right, I'm going somewhere else. But yeah, I was told about South Landing at Flamborough. Now, I haven't been, so I could be wrong, right? But my brother's been, and he said it's just as bad. However, the guy who told me about it said you can drive your car down, so I'll have to check into that. That's something I'll have to check into. But yeah, so I just thought I'd mention that anyhow. Okay then, right, my email. Right, and it's all to do with Flamborough. See how I linked that? When I went out, I wore a hard hat, right, which is usually worn for, I don't know, whitewater rafting or whitewater paddling, kayaking and things like that. So why did I have one on? I did actually mention this in the video, right, but there's more than one reason. Now, I'm only mentioning this not for the idiot who sent me the email, which was disgusting. It was, why the effing hell was you effing wearing something like that? You don't effing need a bloody helmet on, you effing idiot. And it was like that, you get me? I've just blocked him, you get me? But the thing is, I thought I'll mention it just in case some other people wondered why, and they might have just missed the bit where I mentioned. You see, first of all, Flamborough Head is a lighthouse. And the reason why we have lighthouses, to tell the boats there's big rocky areas in the sea that you can't actually see in the sea. And that's what a lighthouse is for, to warn ships. And it really is a rocky area. And at some point you might be, well, you're on the sea, but just 2 foot below you, there could be big boulders and big rocks sticking up. And if you fall out at that point and go under your boat, your head's going to hit one. It really is, right? So that's why I've got a helmet on. Plus also, I went into the Smuggler's Cave, which is, fair enough, quite big. It's big. Right, but the cave walls, in areas, they are very, very sharp. And there's a lot of caves around that Flamborough, which I never got a chance to get into because the tide won't far enough in. Right? And a lot of the caves are a lot narrower and stuff. Look on YouTube. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go onto YouTube and just put, I don't know, Flamborough Caves or kayaking at Flamborough or whatever, because a lot of people go in the caves and that's where I wanted to go. And a lot of the caves are narrow and they're very sharp, so that's another reason. But the main reason, it's the rocks, right? And personally, I'd advise to wear one. There is a lot of videos on YouTube. There's quite a few videos on YouTube where people are wearing them around Flamborough and stuff. You see them going out and stuff like that. And it's because if you're going to be close-ish to the cliffs, right, you could do a one, because like I say, some of them big rocks that are underneath the water might only be a couple of foot underwater, and if you do roll, you're going to hit them with your head. And in some areas you might only be a foot above, literally a foot above. It all depends where you are and stuff. I'll tell you what, if I can find a photograph on Google Earth, if I can get a good enough image, I'll try and zoom in a bit. Hopefully, if I have, I'll put it up now. Right, I'll put an hour or something or other. You'll see that some of the rocks are actually underwater, but you can see them on a good sunny day, right? But on a dark, cloudy day, you won't see them. You get me? You just can't see them until you fell out your boat and hit them. Hopefully I found a photograph. Right, so if not, I've just told you what it is, there you go. But yeah, so that is why I wore a helmet, and that's why if I do go back, I'll wear a helmet again. Right, it's just to do with safety again. It's just to do with safety. Right. Like I said, if I was paddling further out to sea, let's say I'm going 5 miles out to sea, which I wouldn't do, before anyone says you shouldn't do that, really. I know, I wouldn't. But then I wouldn't have a helmet on. Right? But I probably would anyway, because I'd be worried about bumping into bloody whales. Oh yeah, that's something else. No, not whales. But round that area, you get a lot of seals. Didn't see anyone I was out, hopefully next time. But you get a lot of seals. And you do get, right, a lot of basking sharks at certain times of year. You do. And some of them basking sharks are big buggers. Right? You can be talking 20 plus feet long, big buggers. Right? They're not going to attack you. The basking shark basically got no teeth, just soft gums, and they just swim about with their mouths open and collecting all the fish and stuff. Right? Well, not fish, I think it's plankton or whatever they live on, but whatever. But the thing is, chances of this are practically zero, but you could roll, you could be in the one of them bloody things you could bang into or whatever. But the main that's not really going to happen. I don't know why I mentioned it actually. Well, I'll tell you why I mentioned it in case you're ever out there and you see the big fin come up. Right, 9 times out of 10 it's a basking shark, even though there has been other sharks spotted around that area which are not basking sharks. Right, ones that might give you a little nibble if you're not careful. And I'm not talking about a great white or a megalodon or out stupid like that. Anyway, getting back to it, I've gone off track. Yeah, the hard hat. Wear the hard hat because of the rocks, and that's the only reason. And as for this idiot who sent me the email, you didn't upset me if that was the idea. It was quite funny to me. Something like somebody sending me something like that, it's quite funny. You're never going to upset me like that. You know what I mean? I found it quite funny. Even if I was getting into my kayak and somebody walked up to me and said, "You bloody idiot, having that on, you don't need that on," that wouldn't upset me. I'd just say, well, I want it on. You get me? You don't have to wear one. I'm gonna. Because they're the people that you see. They're sort of like the non-PFD people. Sooner or later, they'll wish they had a PFD on, or sooner or later, they wish they had a hard hat on. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Just a quick one. I just thought I'd mention about going back again, and I just thought I'd mention this email for a simple reason. I thought, yeah, maybe one or two other people have wondered why is he wearing that. Just in case, because I did mention it in the video, but we all know people skip through. Okay then, paddlers. Yeah, I'm not gonna mention the last thing. It's keep getting asked make shorts. No, I'm not gonna. It's not my thing. Okay then, right. I'm gonna leave it there and simply say, watch this space. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping tomorrow to get out on the river. So, because it's meant to be a pretty decent day tomorrow. But before anyone says, "Why are you going back to Flamborough then?" Because I actually checked. It's going to be a decent-ish day, but I checked the tides and I checked the wave height, and it could be barefoot 3, maybe 4. So it's going to be quite. I'll explain that in another video. It's to do with the wave height. Alright, there's a scale that starts at 0, which means the tide is like a mirror. Number 1 is a little bit more. Number 2 is a little, you get the gist. I might do a video about that one day, but link it in with something else. Okay then, right. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this one here then. Just a quick one. Hope you enjoyed, and yeah, cheers.